Hi guys! So today I'm going to be talking all about my experience with anxiety.
Good, sometimes I don't, I finesse down Western Road, next. Might go down to G-O-D, I go hard on South.
Now, most of you probably won't know this because you see me on here being so confident and all of that jazz. But I have anxiety, like really bad anxiety as well. First of all, I'm going to start off with what is anxiety. Anxiety is when you can have like panic attacks over like the simplest of things, and you're just panicky about certain things, but over panicky, like you'll worry about it more than what other people will, put it that way. One of the things I struggle with is going into any shops and things like that. Like, I am quite anxious with going into shops. Like, see, before I had my children, I didn't really have a trouble so much with anxiety. It was more something else. But literally after having children, like, my anxiety levels just went shooting up. I can't go into a shop without constantly thinking about getting out of that shop, and I panic. My heart just starts beating out of my chest. I start getting really hot. I'm really sweaty, and I'm literally panicking like all the way through it, and it gets to the point where you feel really lightheaded, like you can faint. I haven't fainted yet, but I have had a point where everything's just went black in my head. Yeah, it's really bad. But like, I can get anxiety over anything. Even walking out on the street, like I'm so anxious over everything, like every little thing that you could possibly think of that anyone could be scared of. I'm anxious about those things, but I'm anxious about those things like, you're gonna die. You're gonna die, basically. You need to get out of the shop right now because you feel like if you don't, you're gonna faint and you're probably gonna pass the hell out. Like, it gets that bad. And like, when I first got it, I didn't really understand how to deal with it at all. Now I'm a little bit better with my anxiety because I force myself into things that I necessarily wouldn't ever do because I'm so anxious. And because I force myself into those things, it helps me realise that overall I was overthinking. And the more and more you do things that you think that you can't do because you're so scared of, or you're so scared that something's going to happen, like, it gets easier, put it that way. It doesn't go away, it won't go away, but it gets a lot easier if you know how to conquer your fears and deal with them, kind of thing. Like, I know many people think that people on camera or YouTube or anything, any video creator, that can't have anxiety. Yes, you can. Like, most do. Most people on even YouTube do. Like, because a camera is a completely different scenario. If you had a whole audience in front of you, it would probably be a whole lot different. And it's weird because I can kind of get across my real personality on camera so well. Like, I'm truly me. Whereas I'm not like that sometimes in real life. I'm more outgoing than I used to be and things like that, but I'm just not necessarily me to everyone. Like, I don't like to show that to everyone. When you're when you're anxious as well, you're very anxious about who you trust, and everything just rolls into the one big anxiousness, okay? Everything. So, yeah, people on YouTube and things like that, they get anxiety too. Like, they have anxiety. Most have really bad issues with anxiety, but it's easier coming across on a video that you are so confident and you don't have, like, obviously, confident, no. It comes across on camera that you can't have something like that, and many of you people need to know that everyone has those sorts of issues, okay? Well, not everyone, but most people have issues like that, and no one knows about them. And most of the time, they don't want you knowing about them things if they have it. Like, for a very long time, it takes you a very long time to come out and say to everyone, oh, I have this issue, because you feel so bad that you have it, because you're like, oh, why don't everyone else have it? But once you speak about it, you realise more and more people that have had it that you didn't even know. And I think as well, when you're a mum, because I was anxious anyway, but once you're a mum, like, well, for me anyway, I don't know about anyone else, but for me, once I become a mum, my anxiety levels just went whoop, whoop, like whoop, because at the start you were worrying about just yourself, and when I was younger, I didn't even care about myself. I hated myself. And now, like, when you're a mum, you kind of have to care about yourself, and it makes you even more nervous and anxious about every little detail, because you have something to live for. You have to live for this someone. You have to be there every day. You have to make sure that you're not getting into stupid crap or getting involved with the wrong people to put your life in jeopardy whilst you have a child there that needs you. Like, maybe not all mothers get like it, but I certainly did. I got a lot worse about thinking about my safety and even my kids' safety. Like, I remember once my child was running around the supermarket whilst I was shopping. Now, I'm nervous when I'm shopping anyway, but he was running around, and like, I know some people just let him run around and like, they can deal with that, and I cannot deal with that. Like, literally, I just ran around until I found him, and at a moment I couldn't find him, and I got so panicky, I literally felt like I was going to faint. I thought in my head, because in my head, whilst I was running around looking for him, all I was thinking is, if he runs out that door and he runs onto that road, he might be dead. He might be dead. I didn't even think of, like, the before scenario. I thought of the ending straight away, and that's what most people who suffer with anxiety do. They think about what's going to happen. They don't think about within the meantime of how it could add up and things like that. They just think instantly, that could happen, that's going to happen, and that's it. It's a straight up worry, and you already believe it's happened before it's even happened, basically. So you panic a lot more. Yeah, I just wanted to come on here and let people know it's not a joke. Like, most people go on and say, oh yeah, but loads of people are scared of things, and it's like, oh, but it's not scared, it's not scariness, like, it's not something you're just scared of. Like, it's terrifying. it literally feels like a nightmare. It literally feels like it's the worst possible thing that could happen, and you think already that it's going to happen. You just worry it's going to happen. And when I walk into shops, like, it's like the whole shop's talking about me. I can see everyone talking about me. I'm panicking already about what I look like once I walk in the doors. Like, once I'm out the doors, I'm okay. But once I walk in those doors, literally, I just feel like everyone's going, and you hear, like, I don't know whether it's just me, but I hear whispers. Like, well, I don't really hear them, but it feels like in that situation, you're panicking so much that, like, you feel like you can hear it, but you can't. It's weird. It's weird. I just wanted to come on here today just to clear it up a little bit. Like, people think it's just an over-exaggeration of something, and it's really not. Like, you wish, like, if you don't have it, please never wish it on yourself, because it is horrible. It's nothing compared to what people express it as. Like, everyone expresses it as like it's just a tiny thing. People don't even go out their houses. I even got to a point where I couldn't leave the house. Now I know how to deal with it, but back when I first had it, like, I could not leave the house. I didn't want to leave the house. I was so scared about everything. Every single thing. I didn't leave the house. I used to have my curtains closed and everything in my old house. Like, my curtains closed every day. Didn't want to make a noise. I had the TV on like 10, volume 10. Like, I was really, really bad back then. And yeah, it's a lot worse than what people let it out for. Like, it's so annoying because I deal with it on a day-to-day basis, and it is very hard to deal with it. Very hard. So yeah, I just wanted to clear that up for you guys. I'm sorry it was a bit of a rant. I'm gonna stop right there, because otherwise I'm just gonna get frustrated and start preaching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and if you've stayed till this long, you know what to do. You know what to do. Yeah. Bye.